Hi YouTube, welcome to the first multiplayer game of Ulia Chronicles, the city builder I created to play with my friends. For this first session, I'll be playing with Ellias. Let's start by selecting the game map. I'm looking for a map with a large fertile area and minimal forest. Fertile areas are represented by white dots, while forests are shown as dark green zones. I'll remove the river because I don't want the map to be split in two. I also changed the map type to include more forest. Perfect, now we have a great looking map. Ellias has confirmed that the map works for him, so we're both ready to continue. Now we need to choose the buildings we'll use in this game. This time, Ellias will manage all the food-related buildings and civilian industries, while I'll handle resource production buildings and military industries. I'll also take charge of the currency production building, as it makes sense given that I'll be producing lower value goods. Additionally, this game will be peaceful, so military buildings will be useless. I just hope I don't quickly fall into debt, otherwise, the game would end. In fact, the only ways to lose are either going bankrupt or having the military academy destroyed by an enemy. The selection is finally complete. Let's start the game. Just like in single-player mode, when the map loads, we can see the entrance point. For us, it will be on the north side. To speed up the arrival of migrants, we'll place 2 stairways to help them avoid walking around the mountain. I plan to build the city on the southern side of the fertile lands, so the less distance migrants need to travel to reach the houses, the faster the workforce will be available to kickstart the city's development. This spot will be perfect to start our city. It's located just below the food production area, making it ideal to minimize the distance carts need to travel to deliver to the granaries. Let's begin by building my first housing district. I'm placing roads and houses. Oops, I missed a tile. Let's check what Ellias is up to. He's started with farms, which is perfect. Next, let's add the basic services for the city. But before that, I'll add a few small gardens to make it look like everything was planned. I only have 1 tile available, so it'll be a small garden. When starting a house block, I always begin with the maintenance office to prevent fires, then I add the hospital to handle diseases, and I finish with the well for water. Water is the first service requested by houses in order to evolve. After that, they'll need food, but Ellias is taking care of that. Once the houses have access to food, they'll need furniture. So, I need to start producing wood to sell to Ellias, who will transform it into furniture. Oh, wait, he placed his houses there. My road will get in the way of expanding his housing block. I'll have to move my industries somewhere else. But for now, I'll keep it as it is. I need to place a maintenance building to prevent fires and a warehouse to store the wood, and then this part will be done. Ellias is telling me I forgot to add decorations for the houses. I need to do that quickly before I run out of space. Now, let's try to keep the treasury afloat by collecting taxes. If I leave it to Ellias, he'll place tax centers everywhere and collect all the taxes for himself, leaving me with nothing. Our city is starting to take shape. The market is now in position, so let's block the road to prevent patrols from wandering too far. That would be pointless. That sawmill is going to be a nuisance, so I'll remove it and add another one later. For now, we need to focus on the houses and make them evolve as quickly as possible. As you can see, buildings can't be connected to a road if there's a roadblock on it. This is useful to know if you want to force your patrols to spawn on a specific tile. It's a great way to manage their patrol routes. Migrants are arriving, and houses are starting to evolve. I'll add a tavern to speed things up. The tavern is the second service requested by houses, right after food. In general, house requests alternate between a service and a product from the market. It's simple and easy to remember. Ellias, you're short on staff, and you forgot to place a maintenance post to watch over your granaries. I'll add one myself to help you out. Your patrol character's influence isn't restricted to your own buildings. It affects all buildings on the map. So, you can easily help your friend by providing services for his buildings. This way, he can save his manpower for other tasks, like producing food. By the way, it might be a good idea to start providing food for the city, don't you think, Ellias? The southern part of the city is taking a long time to evolve. I'll think about that later, it might just be a matter of time. Let's place an extra garden, it won't hurt. And a gymnasium, that way, when the houses have furniture, they'll level up immediately. Meanwhile, Ellias is telling me he's changing his habits. In our previous games, he always used flags as decoration for his city, but now he thinks I nerfed them, as they're less effective than he thought. I promise I haven't changed anything regarding decorations for a long time. Anyway, he's decided to switch and use a park instead. Personally, I suspect he wants to create something better, since the flags can be a bit repetitive. What do you think? While migrants and food are arriving, Ellias has just discovered that there are hedges and stone fences to create nice decorations for long lines, like the one he has. He plans to use them for the game next week. As it stands, I think the parks are great and should be enough for the houses in the first few levels. Ellias, the wood production has started on my side, and I can see the first planks in my warehouse. But you're falling behind with food production. Maybe placing the food production after the houses wasn't the best idea to speed up the city. Anyway, we're not speedrunning the game here. Let's take some time to relax and enjoy the city evolving. Ellias has created his first exchange center to buy wood from me. But it's strange, he placed his exchange center far from his warehouse for storing wood. He should put it closer, it would make things easier for his merchants and delivery workers. The exchange center will send traders every few months to collect supplies from a warehouse, even if the warehouse has a store order for that product. After that, the trader will return to the building, and a delivery man will transfer the product to the warehouse. It's better like that. While Ellias starts furniture production, I need to prepare for the next step. I need to find some gold to start producing money. There it is. Let's place some gold mines in mints. That should give me a safety net before going bankrupt. Even if I sell planks to Ellias, the income won't be enough to sustain the growth of my city. Luckily, trade between players is much cheaper for the buyer compared to the commercial price in AI cities. However, if my teammate has a hard time and his production is stalling, I can trade with other cities to get what I need. But I need to be very careful, as it costs a lot of money. I don't think I'll use this for this game, though. As you can see, even though this production area isn't linked to the main city, I like to set the warehouse orders to store only one product. It prevents the warehouse from being flooded with other products when your teammate links city areas that you didn't link in the first place. On his side, Ellias has finished setting up furniture production. He's still short on manpower, but it should improve now that food is arriving. The granary has only a small food supply, so I hope production will be better next year. Ellias has prioritized the workers for the farm, so it should be okay. On my side, I don't see the missing worker icon on my industries. However, I think my city still needs more workers. I can quickly check that on the population icon at the top. I see -59. Not good. Well, anyway, let's move on and prepare for the next stage. I need to buy furniture, so I'll place my own exchange center and a warehouse to store it. I just have to change the purchase order, and voila! The exchange center will start sending traders to buy furniture from now on. I can also place a market near the warehouse I built. If the market is too far from the warehouse or granary, it won't collect any resources. I think the second market will work fine. Even if there are 20 houses between the market and the warehouse, the market should still be able to collect the products. If the distance is greater than that, it won't. Speaking of the market, you can manage it by selecting the resources it can sell. For example, if you don't want your market to sell furniture or tools, you can disable those options. This can be useful if you want to limit the level of your houses and avoid wasting resources. Food is arriving in the granaries, and they're both full now. That's good news. Our houses won't downgrade due to a lack of food. While the houses are evolving well, I'm still a bit worried that Elias's houses might lack access to basic services like water or a hospital. One building for so many houses is just not enough. I'll share my thoughts with Elias, and we'll decide what to do. He's still missing workers, but as the houses grow, there's more space for people to move in. At this rate, our global population could quickly double or even triple, as everything seems to be ready. Alright, I'll help him by adding more service buildings myself. We'll definitely need more water, so I'll place a new well next to his houses. But it'll be my people who work there. It will be better if they can supply me first. I'll position it right between our houses, and I'll do the same with the hospital. I'm not sure if there's a fire risk, but since we're playing on easy mode, it should be really low. I can check by selecting the fire risk view. All the buildings show a low fire risk, so there's no need to add a new maintenance building in this area. Let's check this house. The food supply is fine, but it's still missing a lot of people. I'll wait for the migrants to arrive. I can get more information about buildings at any time by selecting them, like for this house. It's strange, his merchant isn't moving, even though they should be fetching wood planks. I have a warehouse full of them. We need to figure out a solution. Could it be a bug? It worked fine yesterday. Let me check to see what might be going wrong. I'm clueless. I don't see anything unusual happening with the building. Maybe the issue is with the trader itself. If that's the case, rebuilding the building elsewhere should fix it. It's a shame we're playing on an older version. With the new one, I'd have access to more data about characters. I'm really looking forward to playing our next game with the updated version I'm working on. On the bright side, Ellias doesn't have worker issues anymore. As soon as this trading problem is fixed, furniture production will start. I will turn the camera to have a better view on the trader. As soon as it spawns, I will be able to tell if the problem is really here. No, still the same issue. Maybe the problem isn't with the game after all. Ellias, how did you configure the building? Did you set the minimum quantity before trading? You put it at 32. That's not right. I only have one warehouse. You need to set that value to 0. Otherwise, the merchants will never come to fetch the planks under these conditions. I added this feature to give players the option to leave a minimum amount of product for the producer. so traders won't buy everything and potentially destroy the producer's economy. I'll be able to show you how it works when I start buying furniture from Ellias. I'll need to ensure he has enough furniture left to supply his city. Ellias will put the building back where it was and change the configuration. That should fix the problem, and the trader will start buying wood from me. We may be short on furniture, but at least we're not lacking food. Do you see all these carts with food? It might be too much for now, but in the future, this great food production will be really useful. Let's wait here to see if everything is working correctly. There we go. The merchant is now fetching wood. Soon, we'll have furniture for everyone. Oh no, Ellias's houses have downgraded. He's going to have serious manpower problems. Thankfully, he already configured labor access priorities, so food production shouldn't be too affected. His houses are now back to level 1. That's mean they don't have water. Should I place a new well? What do you think, Ellias? An epidemic now? I knew those houses would lack access to basic services. That's why it's a mess over there. If I select the health view, I'll see where we need more doctors. A lot of houses are red, and as you can imagine, that's not good. We'll need to rethink our city's design. This isn't working. There's too much distance for our patrollers to cover. We should add roadblocks to limit district sizes for our patrollers, but right now, it's not possible. What can we do? Let's see. We could put a roadblock next to the decorations, but that's not ideal because expanding the southern housing district would bring it into the furniture industry area. Looks like we'll need to head north. It's a shame, I've already placed all the services there. Is there another solution? This is where this video ends. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hope you enjoy, and see you next time.